I love it.
For as long as 16-year-old Brendan Brown can remember, he's been in love with the sport of bowling.
I was 4 years old, and I was out here throwing a 6-pound ball.
We put the bumpers up that first time. He looks at me and goes, I'm not a baby.
Throwing like 23, 40, something like that, pins per game.
So the next time out, we took the bumpers down, and he hit 50. And he's been on the whirlwind since.
Shooting his first 200 game at the age of 11.
After that, I shot a 206, and then a 235, and then a 276, and then a 277 with 11 strikes in a row. And I was 14 when I did that.
But in October of 2014,
I started crying because I couldn't bowl.
that all came crashing down. Brendan found himself in urgent care, getting x-rays after a mud bogging accident with friends.
And I fell and I thought I just tore a tendon or something like that in my leg.
Never in a million years did I dream he was talking cancer.
But an MRI confirmed it. Brendan had a tumor in his leg, chondroblastic osteosarcoma. Further testing revealed it was also in his lungs.
It's a gut punch. It takes all the wind right out of you.
2 weeks later, Brendan started the first of what would become 29 chemo treatments, and in January of 2015 underwent limb salvage surgery, having 17 centimeters of his tibia and fibula removed to keep the cancer from spreading.
I just kind of kept a positive attitude about it. I was like, it's not like everybody needs all 4 limbs to, live everyday life.
2 months later, he was back in the OR, this time to remove the cancer from his lungs. And in the midst of recovery and more chemo,
It came back farther up in my leg, and it actually grew about the size of a basketball.
doctors told him it was either life or limb.
And I was like, oh, hey, see you, leg. Adios. Good knowing you.
And in July, Brendan had his leg amputated at the hip.
People look at me like a disabled person, and I get the looks a lot when I'm in public and stuff like that. And it's not even like I'm not the dis part, I'm the able part. Like, I can do almost everything a normal person can do. I mean, I can't walk, I can't run, but that's not going to stop me from getting where I want to be.
Did quitting bowling ever cross your mind after
Never.
all these surgeries?
Never.
You were going to find a way to make it work?
Yep, and I did. I used the wheelchair for balance with my left hand, and I just throw the ball with my right hand.
Brendan averaged 220 points per game before surgery. His first game back after his amputation, he got a 32.
It's like starting over at 4 years old, and you're not done. We're not quitting.
And Brendan didn't. He continued to bowl. In between chemo treatments, he bowled. After his father passed away in September, he bowled. And when his bowling coach of 12 years died 6 weeks later, he bowled, eventually getting back up to a 220 last January.
It was a great feeling. I mean, I was in the middle of the game, I was through a strike, and then 4 more, and I was like, hey, I'm doing all right.
But now Brendan's gearing up for a different type of opponent, one that he's faced before and won, but one that certainly doesn't play by the rules. And you won't find him here in these lanes either. That's because at the end of January, Brendan found out that his cancer came back and is as aggressive as ever.
Yeah, it's less than 6 months to live, and I'm like, oh, okay, might as well go live my life.
I will die of a broken heart if I lose my boy. He's my world. Has been. That's all I've ever asked for was him. And I'm not going to give him up without a fight today.
Scans showed the cancer came back in Brendan's lungs. 2 nodules quickly became 5, and they were growing exponentially.
As long as we have each other, there's nothing we can't get through.
He had surgery in early February to remove the upper lobe of his lung, and though his journey is far from over, through it all, he somehow managed to remain positive.
I live life like everybody else does. I get up and put my pants on one leg at a time, even though I have one leg to put them on, but I still put them on one leg at a time.
And dreaming of the day he'll be back on the lanes once again.
When I come out here and bowl, it just puts everything else behind me. Like, I don't think about the fact that I have cancer. I don't think about the fact that I look different from everybody else. I don't think about the fact that I'm in a wheelchair. It's just I'm doing what I love.